Hi, Pastor Nathan Decker with your hashtag Better Together devotion for today. Make sure and click like, share, and subscribe on all those buttons below so you don't miss out on these daily devotionals. So this week I focused on the vision of the church and especially talking about questions that we can ask to revise the vision, to understand the direction that we're going with God, that we've discerned with God, the ways that we can be better at sharing the message and fulfilling our mission of making disciples. So, one of the questions has to do with how, think about this for a moment. How did the disciples in the early church, how did they grow the church so fast? And I mean, that it was a compelling message, obviously. It was connecting with the world, obviously, but there was something else about it that was unique. It went viral. Yes, that's right. I use that word. I know it's a modern word, but it's also something that was kind of an ancient understanding. It went bonkers viral. It went all over the place. If your vision is both compelling and connecting to the world and viral, then it will go and just blossom and bloom. But it needs to be that way. It needs to be viral. In other words, it needs to be something that folks get excited about. Remember the ice bucket challenge back in 2012, 13, something like that? That was viral. That was exciting. It was a way of connecting a mission, a ministry, helping out people with something fun. And that's what made it viral. Folks wanted to challenge each other. They wanted to see each other get a bucket of ice. I remember I put bucket ice over my head and still sent money in. It was a way of letting folks know, and it had this kind of contagious nature about it that it went on beyond who you were. So if the church is doing it well, if the church has a vision that connects with the world and is compelling, and gets kind of copied in the world, well, that's the best compliment ever, isn't it? When something is viral, it just takes on a life of its own, and it goes beyond where you are to so many places that you could never have been. As a pastor, I love this. In fact, recently I was in a small group and someone asked me about, does it bother you whenever we talk about, being the priesthood of all believers and going out and doing work and mission work without even letting you know what we're doing? No, it does not. In fact, I get excited about that because that's what we're supposed to be as the church, and that's what I'm supposed to be as a pastor. Somebody who equips others and sends them out to go do ministry in places I never could. That's what Jesus did. Jesus sent them out two by two, not just the 12, but 70 other folks. And even beyond that, Paul and Apollos and Barnabas and Luke, they went all over the place. It was viral. It took on a life beyond the originator. What a virus does is it infects a cell and takes on that cell, and the cell begins reproducing other viruses that are slightly different, by the way, because the cell has a little bit of DNA within the virus now. And that's what we need to do as well. Our vision needs to be infectious. It needs to go beyond us and take on flavors that we never would have imagined. Beautiful, diverse flavors from all over the cultures of the world. When we have a vision that's compelling, connecting with the world, and viral, we'll make disciples better together. Amen.